Okay, now we are live on YouTube. Hello, people from YouTube. Let's talk about freedom. So I'm going to read the first question. What comes to your mind when you listen the word freedom? Can you start, Jessica, please?
Okay. I thought I have left the meeting. I think I don't know. I never thought a lot about that. I think it means be able to do whatever I want.
Yes, I share the same goals with you, because for me it's basically that to be able to do what you want when you want, go to whatever you want to go, do whatever you want to do. For me, it's basically that. How about you, Mateus?
Well, like she said, freedom for me is do whatever you want when you want, and not comes too much things in my head about that.
Okay, thank you. Pedro, how about you, man?
Agree with Jess said. I think freedom is when you can do something using your time, right? Your own time. But it is a philosophical question because nowadays, what is freedom, right? Because I don't think so. We are freedom and we have a freedom enough, right? We have two bills, we have family, we have another, well, some things, we have some things, we have things to do, right? And this crazy time that needs people doing a lot of things at the same time. I don't know. It's a good question, philosophy question. But I agree with Jessica. Freedom. That's it.
Yes, thank you. Guilherme, are you there? Your turn, please.
Yes, for me, I agree with other opinions, guys, because freedom for me, just only whatever you want to do in your life, freedom
Yeah.
for choose your your life, your work, whatever you want.
Yes, thank you. Also, to express yourself, right, guys? To believe in what you want. In some places, you don't have this. Pedro, can you read the question number 2, man, please?
Yeah, sure. Let's go. Number 2, right? You
Yeah.
said? Okay. Number 2, guys, do you have as much freedom as you ever wanted in your life? I started or I pick someone?
Pick someone, please.
Okay. Go on, Mateus.
Well, I think that no one is really free, like you said before. But about me, I don't think that I have the freedom that I wanted because of many facts, and the most principally because I don't have my own house and I don't do my own life.
Yeah.
Yes. Mateus, choose someone you want to answer.
To pick someone,
Yes.
Guilherme.
For me, I think it's a freedom I don't have because now you are country, you have a freedom limitation. I think you don't have a freedom all the things. How about you, Jessica?
I certainly have a lot of freedom because I live by my own and I make my own money, so that's good. But as a woman, I will never have as much freedom as I would like to. Like I cannot walk alone at the street at night, late night, for example. Sometimes not even during the day. That's dangerous for me. I cannot visit some places like um, like some places that have a lot of restrictions of you women traveling alone without a man from their family, for example. So I have a lot of freedom on a daily basis, I would say, on my day to day, but I know that I cannot do everything that I wish, and that I have to take some precautions in some places or at some hours.
Yes, I agree with you. It's curious, you're right? Because we can have some freedom at some point in our life, but in others not. I would say that for me, also, I would like to be as much freedom as I don't need to, for example, if I don't need to work for a living, you know, if I can choose whatever I want to do in that moment, I can, oh, and now I want to develop something. I want to dedicate myself to some projects. Okay, I want to do this, you know, but I can do it nowadays because I'm not so free. And Pedro, you, man, do you consider?
Yeah, I agree, Bascar. That's it. And nowadays, I talk to you about that. I started to study Java, and it's hard. So my free time, I need to concentrate my mind and to study and learn something new. And this is new, really new for me. And but on the other hand, I try to um, keep. I don't know if I can to use keep, but keep a part of my time to read some books. I I had to stop to read, and nowadays, 2 weeks ago, I returned to read some books again, and I bought a new HQ called Soldador Subaquático. It's about a man that had I don't know if how can I say história mal resolvida. I don't know
I
if
would say
someone
unresolved, you know, unresolved.
or unsolved, right?
Yeah, unsolved. Yeah.
Yeah, he had it's a great comic, guys. I recommend. Jackie had has unsolved story with her with his dead parent. It's it's great, and he visits his past. It's a great story, and that's it. Well, yeah, I don't have a free that a free time that I want, but that's it.
Yes, also when you, especially when you're studying a lot, as you just said, you don't have so much freedom because you have to study, you have the tests and so on. So yeah, I got you.
That's comic here, guys. If I
Pedro is the man of the books, guys. Always has the best books. Oh, nice. I have never heard about it.
it's
Nice. Okay, Jessica, can you read number 3, please? You're muted, sorry.
Do you believe there is enough freedom in your country?
You can answer or just choose someone if you want.
I think every day a little bit less, I guess, with the current situation. I would say there is enough freedom to people to make people think that there is freedom, but there is not. In a way that, as I said, it's dangerous for women, it is dangerous for Black people to have to act in certain ways. So that is not freedom for me. Sure, I can come and go as much as I want, but still, I am not allowed the same to act the same way that as a white man, for example, and Black people are not allowed to act the same way as white people and portray themselves on that way, or even say some things, you know. So that is not real freedom, but there is enough freedom for us to do a bunch of things, and enough freedom for people to not think a lot about it, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting because when we talk about comparing our country, all the time we are comparing it to other situation. For example, Brazil compared to another country, right? It's really interesting. How about
Yeah.
you, Guilherme?
I think I think it's not enough freedom because if you don't is white man, you have a lot of problem to do it. White man, I think it's freedom to do whatever you want.
And
Yeah,
rich
Okay. How
and
about you,
rich people.
Pedro? How about you, Pedro?
you're muted, man.
Sorry, guys, because I have participated in meetings using the phone now tonight. I agree with Yugi and with Jessica. I agree, totally agree, and I included the minority like LGBTQ plus, right? They suffer a lot, and well, now 2 weeks ago, I don't remember exactly, but we had horrible case in Rio de Janeiro, like a black man who was dead,
Yeah.
right? Because he went to talk about your boss to receive some cash, right? Because he worked and I don't know barraca, right? I don't know saying it in English, but and that's it. It's a terrible story, and I think the minority people don't have enough freedom, and I think all you guys saw like YouTuber, barra a podcaster, I don't know, Monarch said right about Nazi. It's complicated. I think the bad guys are are having a dangerous freedom, right, to express yourself, and this is a problem.
Yes, this is a really recent example. And also because of this inequality, you know what? Like people that have less condition in life, they need to study more, to work more, you know. So by doing this, they have more less time to, you know, enjoy life and things like that. So also we can see that freedom is not like so equal. And Mateus, what do you think?
Well, I agree with everyone, and it's the fact that we don't have freedom, especially in this country, because everyone living in different places, but everyone have the same problems. We are hostages of the dangers. We cannot go out in the night. It depends too of your color, of your person in the various ways. And like Pedro said, we have people with some visibility talking about things that we can be dangerous in a high scale, and that is.
Yes, yes, thank you. I think we could switch the number 4 because it's almost related, but if we have some time, we get back to it, okay? Let's talk about number 6, for example. Do men and women are equally free in our country? What do you guys think about this? Can you start, Pedro?
Yeah, sure. No, especially especially women, like Jessica said. We have in our country a lot of murder, right? About women's. And since the pandemic starts, many women suffered a lot of violence by psychological, physical, and right, and that's it. That's we have in our country. I see that a sexism, right? A large sexism uh, all over with the women's and the relations. And I think the sexism, how can I say, atrapalha?
Oh, I would say like it won't help me, you know. I would say that they reverse it, you know. I think I actually don't have a word for atrapalhar, you know, to make it worse, things like that, you know.
I would probably use disrupt.
Ou prejudicar eu usaria também, né? Prejudicar o quê?
Prejudice, I think. Let's see. No, prejudice is not the other word.
Prejudicar.
Let me try to search. Okay. To harm or damage, you know, harm or damage. I found it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finish my answer. I think the sexism, harm or danger. It is
damage. Yeah, damage.
Damage. Yeah, all relations in our society, right? And that's it. I pick someone or?
Yeah, pick someone, please.
Okay, go on, Jessica. You talk better.
Yes, sure. It's not equally for both genders. I think that is pretty clear. And men have a lot of more freedom than women, like from the way that they can dress or the way that they can act, to the things that they can say and how they can portray themselves. And I think that happens in the whole world, not only here in Brazil. I think there are some countries that this difference is more pronounced and some countries that it's less pronounced, but it's still we live in a society that is a patriarchal society. So, and that's led by men, and the laws are majority made by men as well. So it's always favoring them in one way or another, and the same goes for the culture, since it was dictated for them since the beginning. It favors them the most. So yeah, we're not the same. We're not viewed the same, so we do not have the same freedom.
Yes, I agree with you, Jessica. I think Brazil is, I would say, a better country comparing to others like, especially when we say like Taliban, the countries like Taliban, you know, that the countries that are really problematic for women. I think it's terrible, but I think we have a lot to do in our country to make it better. We can see that also in the career, you know. I work with technology nowadays. We have a lot of companies. They are starting creating programs to help women in this career, but they're like a huge, you know, barrier, you know, a huge wall for women to work in this position. So I think it's really complicated. And Guilherme, how about you?
I think they're not equally of woman and man. For example, in Brazil, you have just one woman in the president of Brazil. For this, not quite the just. You don't see a lot of women in the cargos more in the and in Brazil. No Brazil, I think it's really sad because women and men have the same salary, for example. How about you, Matheus?
Well, I don't think there is equality freedom. Like Jessica said, we build a society in the patriarchal ways, and we see every day like news about sexism and different treatment in between women and men, and highly mostly of the cases the men committed abuse against the women. We see about it every day, and unfortunately this happens too much.
Yes. Now your turn, Pedro.
I've already answered. I studied.
Okay, sorry.
Remember? Yeah.
So I think everybody answered, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go. I would like to change a bit, let's go to the question number 8. Do you guys, where in the world do you guys believe there is the greatest freedom? The last question. What's the best place for us to live in, thinking about freedom and things like that? I think everybody is going to say it's a different place. And also, if you want, take a bit of time to think about it. I would say, guys, let me just check the name if it's the same. Okay, Holland. Holland is the same or no? Holland, yes, it's Holland. I would say Holland, because I know the rules over there. They are like they allow you to use drugs, things like that. So I think they're really free in these aspects. But to be honest, I don't know if, for example, we're talking about men and women. I don't know if this is a bit better or the same. Okay, it's just my perception. But also, I would say Brazil is in one of the the most free countries. I would say also. How about you, Mateus?
Well, not come to my mind a country where I believe is the greatest, because when we talk about freedom, I think a lot of things. A country can be free to someone, but another person, just to be different, cannot have the same freedom. So we cannot say that freedom for one is the same freedom for other. And not come a special country in my mind, but like you said, I think that Brazil has same freedom with these problems like we see every day, but we have a freedom in a special way.
Yes, I agree, man. Guilherme, you? How about you?
I guess, for example, don't have a freedom every country because you have a rule for every country. But I think the large country is very freedom more than other countries. For example, North Korea. It's very different in Brazil, for example. Now you have possibility. You have a free. For me, it's amazing. How about you, Jessica?
I don't think that is a free country, like a completely free country. Maybe some community hidden from the modern world is free, like the indigenous people or something like that, maybe. But if we're talking about countries, I would say that the Nordic countries would be the freest countries in the world, because they are the ones that have a high quality of life for the citizens. So their citizens really do not have to worry about basic things like food and shelter. so they can really invest in doing what they really want with their lives. And also it's the countries with better equality between genders and better laws for minorities as well. So I would say this would be the most free countries in the Occident world, at least.
Yeah, nice points that the richest are also maybe the freest. And Pedro, you.
Yes, it's a philosophy question too, because maybe we have freedom, but on the other hand, we don't have equality. That freedom being used for all people, right? Like you said, rich people have a much freedom than the poor people, right? We can see when a rich guy made a crime, and and he goes to trial, and he has a lot of situations to habeas corpus and other situations, and the second way, you have a man that stole to eat, and immediately he go how can I say, enviado, sent, right?
Right.
Sent to jail,
Yeah.
right? Without a trial, And like Jessica said, like Guilherme said, and I think the final answer is we don't have the quality of these people living their lives, right? I think that is because talking about the rich people, the social, about the economic topic, at the end of the year, some people have money to travel a lot, right? To traveling a lot, and we have some people that we don't have some money to eat, right? What is about freedom, right? It's a complicated. So and any other countries, and we have other countries, but you said Holland. Yeah, I mean Holland's an interesting country. I want to visit there, but I think in Holland they have some strict rules that I don't know, right? And
Yeah.
maybe one day I will be considered, maybe Holland is not free than I know. I don't know yet. I think that is France has, Italy has, Brazil has. I don't know. I think it is a perspective, right? An individual perspective.
Yeah, there's like that utopia, like freedom is like a utopia because okay, to be all the things perfect is so difficult to find out.
I remember now. Well, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I talked with I don't know, it's a French guy or American guy, and he said to me, "Oh my God, Brazilians are so polite because they don't smoke, and the restaurants and the bars and the bakery, right? Padarias, bakeries."
Yeah.
Oh, he said, you and your people are so polite. Oh my God. And man, chill, my man, because we have law, right? And this law denies the, I don't know, direito.
Hey, you're right. You have your right, to do.
Yeah, and we have a law that deny your rights to smoke, and these locales, and these
places.
places. Thank you, man. And oh, I can understand now. Oh, Yeah, you're not so polite. Now, now I'm not.
Now you got, yeah.
Yeah, but do you see the perspective? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I would like to connect this question, guys, with another one. We were talking about our country and okay, and which one is the greatest freedom country? I would ask you guys if you have the opportunity to stay in Brazil or choose any other country to go. What would you do? You stay in Brazil or you choose another country to live. Can you start, Jessica, please? In which country is okay, if you're not?
I'm definitely leaving, actually. I'm trying to immigrate to Canada, so yeah, not staying here. I think Canada is good enough when talking about freedom. But the place that I really want to go live once I retire is Spain, which is, I don't think is so different from Brazil, actually, talking about freedom. But I'm definitely not staying. If it's up to me, I am not staying.
Yes. I think Canada is kind of at some point it's related to Brazil, right? Because they have this culture of to accept immigrants and things like that. So I think in some way it's kind of okay. And Guilherme, you?
Sorry, you can read the question again.
No, I just connected the other question, but the question is, if you had the opportunity to stay in Brazil or go to another country, what would you do?
I think I stay in Brazil. I travel for other countries because some people think, oh, let's say it's amazing country, but don't think that's it because don't have a system public health. For example, in USA, don't have a SUS. Don't have, for example, medicine for people take free. For me, I think I travel words, yes. But I don't know it's exactly if I want to stay in Brazil or no.
Yes, okay, thank you. Yeah, it's a good point because again, right, guys, do you have some good points in Brazil and bad points in the other countries as well? And Pedro, what would you do?
Yeah, Guilherme said important thing. Yeah, a big thing, Guilherme. I agree with you, man. Maybe Canada, I think, has a similar treatment health, right? But I think it's not the same, right? But I wish maybe Holland. I like to like you said, Holland, maybe a beautiful country and an interesting country. Canada too, I think it is. I don't know, maybe if I have a nostalgic feeling, but I would to visit Italy. I think Italy is a great, because when I was teenager in Bandeirantes or Gazeta, I don't remember now, I saw many tournaments, matches of Italian football league in Milan, Inter, Juventus, and the opening of the match you can see Roma, the Coliseo, and the others, and I think it is maybe nostalgic, but I would like to visit Italy. It's great, and we have Italy and Idiom in TNT, right? I think we have.
Really?
I don't know. I think we have.
Okay, nice.
German? We
I
have
think
German.
Yeah, actually we have, but yeah, we have, and also recently the Italian group has increased, let's say like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
we don't have enough people.
Yeah, it was like a small group. We had like once in a while the meetings, but now with the Italian groups they have like 2 meetings a week, in TNT. I think
And we turn about freedom, right? And the time
not so free, yeah.
to learn Italy or French.
Yes. Hey, Mateus, you, what would you do, man? Would you stay, you go? Yeah, me too, sorry.
I'm leaving. If had a country that I can go, I think in maybe Canada. I really like German too. I think a lot of Norway or maybe French, but any country can be a place to go.
Yeah, nice. Well, guys, I think a lot about this. I like Canada as well because I have some friends. They went to work there, in companies over there with technology, and I know they hire a lot of people from Brazil. But also, I would say there are two other countries that I keep in my mind. One is Chile. I really enjoy, Chile. I think it would be a nice country, and England because I have a passion for, London, yeah, some other cities, and I think wow, it's a really nice country. But I don't know that much about the freedom over there. And I have another question for you guys. It's not in the list, which is if you don't need to work or study for a living, you're nowadays you have all the money you need and all the conditions. What would you do? In your life, you have all the freedom you need to do whatever you do. What is it? Can you start, Pedro?
I will say, wake up. Well, I think traveling all over the world, it is my first choice. You said a lot of interesting countries, England and the other. I think Africa too, right? To know the continent, right? Africa, maybe Cuba. I don't know, to visit there. And so, yeah, read a lot of comic stories, read, and well, it's complicated because I think we never think about this. Oh, well, why if I have a lot of money in the world or a lot of time, right? It's a faraway dream, but I think that's it, man. I will travel over the world. I think it is my first choice, right?
Choice. The first
Choice. Yeah, yeah. Japan too.
Yes, I have heard a lot about Japan and how things are so great over there. But I think if you wanna go there, it would be like if you are retired as well, because I heard, I had a boss, no, a tech lead, and he used to say that he used to spend a lot of time working, over there, even more than Brazil, because like they work more time. It's not like 8 hours a day. So perhaps in that point, it's not so
He
good.
feels exhausted, right? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I'm not
complicated.
so sure. But choose someone, Pedro.
Guilherme, go on, man.
For
What do you
me, I
do?
think I'm gonna help people live in the street because these people sometimes you don't see the face.
Yeah.
For me, it's really sad to say it because they are human,
Yeah.
send food for people need, and help people, children and the orphanages. Because it's really sad. I think if I want a lot of money, I should help people just only for me because don't make sense for me make this. But I want to travel the world for I know about new culture, about new things, whatever. For me, it's this problem in Brazil and the other country, for example. For me, it's really sad. How about you, Matheus?
Yeah.
Well, I will travel around the world, and I will think about making programs to help people that needs, because it's not fair that I'm rich with every money that I want, and people living like having nothing to eat. But the first thing that come in my mind is this, and I would like to travel some new place, eat new foods, and a lot of things.
Yes, I think travel is a word that we repeated in all the choices, right?
Yes, to
Because
everyone.
it seems so good to travel. And Jessica, you?
Yes, travel for sure. But I think I would still work with what I work nowadays, but without the pressure of having to succeed and making money of it. I would work because I want to, not because I have to. And that said, I would like to teach people how to work with what I work, especially girls, because it's a very strict field and dominated by men. But there's a lot of women out there trying to enter it, and I would like to help these girls on how to succeed in that field. And I'll probably also would be spending a lot of money saving animals like cats and dogs from the streets, like maybe helping in a shelter or having a shelter myself, something like that.
Yeah, nice. I share the same goals as you guys because I would like to travel around the world, and perhaps we in TNT we have like a dream that in the future we would be able to, create like some hubs in other countries. In every single city, we could create hubs, to connect people and to practice, maybe teach English, maybe teach Spanish, maybe teach technology to other people, and just in the same way we are doing here, talking and to each other and exchanging. And for me it would be like perfect, if I could, like just Jessica said, I can work but because I want, not because I have a pressure to do things and things like that. I think it would be really nice. And I have a question that I would like to ask you guys in the end. Number 7. uh, do you think freedom can damage a country? Can you start, Jessica, please?
Sure. Uh, no, I do not think so. I think that people mistake freedom for a lack of responsibility, which is not the same thing. You can sure go on and kill someone, that doesn't mean you will be free, you know, that things have consequences. So freedom does not mean that things do not have consequences, just means that you can do something. So I think freedom will never damage a country, but a lack of consequences and a fragile system of justice can damage the country, but not the freedom itself.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I think this question is really philosophical. I would like to hear you guys to understand. Guilherme, you?
I think sometimes it damage for a country. For example, now you have a lot of podcast people say worse things about a lot of things they don't know about, but they say. They say about a lot of things they don't know. I don't understand you. It's because that influence a lot of people. For me, freedom sometimes little they damage because influence a lot of other people now. Because we have internet for talk with other people, it's very easy influence worse thing for another people. For example, I can say for everyone here anything anything's worse for you. It's really bad for my part. How about you, Pedro?
Yeah, again, that's it. And I agree with Basca too, philosophy question. But I think I have some opinion about this because I have I think the all freedom, the totally freedom has a problem because our democracy, right? We have almost 30 years. In 1988, we have we create a constitution, right? And we call it I don't know in English, but freedom constitution, like more or less. And when we have a leader of our country saying or praising another dictators, right, like Pinochet, and he is so grateful about the military dictator, right? It's a worst time, and we have, like Guilherme said in some podcasts, people talking about Nazism is good or not so good, but they need to express, and I think we have to pay attention in this, right? Because I think like people, we need to walk to forward, right? Not how can I say retroceder, return a past, right? A terrible past, and I think it is. I think it is. That's a large field to
Yes,
discuss.
yes,
Maybe a new subject to next meeting.
yes, for sure. Mateus, you man.
Well, like you say, it's a philosophical question because we see that when we talk about freedom, we don't have a limit for freedom because it's free. And like we recently see there's a podcast, and they have some I forgot. Let's talk. Like, how can I say? We can use, for example, the fascist and Nazi regimes. Yes, that they are free and they choose the freedom to do bad things to people. So when we talk about freedom, we have to think that freedom can be a lot of damage, and it depends of who is exercising his freedom. How your freedom should be end when you ameaça como mesmo? Esqueci. Treat the freedom of another. Yes. Thank you.
Don't worry.
Yes, I like to think that way, because, for example, I have an example. We used to, in the past, it used to be allowed for you to smoke in small places, in closed places. And then the science discovered that, okay, if you do this, people around you are going to be damaged, because you are smoking, and the smoke can, harm other people. So for that people that is used to smoke, their freedom is to smoke everywhere. They want to smoke every single place, But then if you do this, you are harming other people. And if you need to give more freedom to other people, we need to, make your freedom smaller, So it's really crazy, this way to think. I think freedom and sex of freedom can damage a country for sure, in my opinion, because it could be like an anarchy, no law at all, people doing whatever they want, and we need some laws and need things to control, the country. And I think that's it, guys. I would like to share you our page in LinkedIn, so you guys can give us a like, a comment, you know. Please share with your friends and family. This is the link of the live. Okay, so give us a like and thumbs and give us a comment. Suggest other topics, you know. Oh, I would like to talk about this and that. And that's it. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Today was my first TNT being a host in 2022, so I'm really excited. Okay, thank you so much. See ya.